Welcome to Module 3, Visual Design Essentials. Now that we've talked about cognitive overload and multimedia principles, we'll focus on the design choices that make slides visually effective. Your slides need a clear path for your students. There are 5 key design principles we will cover in this module: visual hierarchy, white space, alignment, contrast, and typography. First, visual hierarchy is your slide needs a clear path for the eye. A strong heading, followed by smaller text, helps students know where to look. Some common design problems that distract and dilute hierarchy are walls of text, poor font choices, weak contrast, and everything on the screen is competing for their attention. We also need white space, which is the space around your content. White space is not necessarily empty. It's a tool that improves clarity and reduces visual stress. And then there's alignment. Alignment is also very key. When text and images line up cleanly, the slide immediately feels organized. And then we have contrast. Use contrast between text and background and avoid light colors on white or bright colors or busy backgrounds. And then finally, typography. Stick with clean, readable fonts, and using too many decorative fonts can distract students and reduce readability. So let's talk about some before and after examples. A bad example would have multiple competing headings, poor color contrast, little to no white space, or misaligned elements. A good example would have clear visual hierarchy, strong text contrast, generous white space, clean alignment, and a logical path for the eyes to follow. Now let's look at some actual examples. On the left here, we have a bad example, and you can see that there's really no visual hierarchy. There's a busy background. There's decorative elements competing for attention. The contrast is off. There are too many font choices. Just a multitude of things that would cause cognitive overload in this first example. In this second example, we have a clean layout, a clear hierarchy. You can tell what's a title, a subtitle, and then a description under each. We have strong contrast in our colors, and there is purposeful white space. Well, now it's your turn to apply visual design principles. First, let's find a real slide that needs improvement. This could be one that you find online or one of your own. Then analyze it for specific design problems, and then redesign it by applying 3 design principles you've learned in this module. Then you'll explain your design choices in an assignment submission. Let's take a look.